When you were a kid, did your parents ever let you skip school for something awesome?
Yes.
What did you get to skip for?
An Atlanta Braves game, spring training.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, it was awesome.
So what do you think about this? Because this is a little bit of a debate that we got going on here. We got an email to try to settle this. It says, my husband is giving me a hard time for taking my daughter out of school today to see the Taylor Swift concert movie. We have events for her every weekend, and we got no other time to go. And we both love Taylor Swift, and we think it would be an awesome bonding event. I think she's going to remember this forever. Plus, we think it will be so much cooler to see it in the theater than at home. Is the Taylor Swift Eras concert movie a good enough of an excuse to have your daughter play hooky from school?
If your grades are good, yes. If your grades are good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that. For a movie.
It's not a movie. It's an experience for your kid.
I wouldn't set that precedent, but that's just me.
What's the difference between going to a baseball game or to a Taylor Swift thing? If your grades are good and it's not going to affect anything, what is the harm? Now, if you're sucking in school and you've missed a bunch of class, no, we're not going to a movie.
Right.
But if you've done the work, you got to reward yourself every now and then.
You got a little bit of fun in this life.
If you're crushing it.
Okay, if you are crushing it. Okay, we'll see what the people have to say on YouTube right now. What do you think? We'll put up the poll. Is taking your kid out of school for the Taylor Swift's Eras Tour movie a good excuse? It was still the #1 movie at the weekend box office, the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie. $31 million it brought in. It's now up to about $130 million nationwide.
Taylor Swift beat the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Isn't that crazy?
That was so heavily promoted. I saw so many ads for that movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's almost 3.5 hours long, though. I don't know if a lot of people got that kind of tolerance to watch something like that in the theater. That's something where you got to break it up. That's almost like 2 movies in one. To me, about 90 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of over this. So, I mean, that's like double that, maybe triple.
Leo's new movie?
Yeah,
okay.
The Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah, I think it's 3 hours, 26 minutes, something like that.
The nards on you.
Yeah, I think people kind of, voted with their pocketbook. $23 million, which that's not a good take for a Leo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese film.
That is
it's got, Robert De Niro, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a formula.
I think Robert De Niro plays like the bad guy, which I love that concept. And it's based on a real story.
I'm sure it's good. But yeah, 3.5 plus, that's a long time, baby.
Just how easy it is to go on ahead and watch movies at home. I think people just anymore kind of prefer it. So what about going to the Eras movie with your daughter and allowing her to skip school to do it? Is that a good enough excuse, yes or no? Some of the comments we had, one person texted in, they said, what kind of experience is going to the movie theater during the day when nobody's there?
I agree. Like, if you want to see the movie, go see it when there's going to be other Swifties in the theater.
Yeah, they said it sounds lame. It sounds like the kid's pretty active and stuff, and I just remember back to my daughter's softball days, and every weeknight, every weekend was consumed with softball, so maybe that's what it is. She's got those kind of events where there's just never any time, any other part of the day to go. So that was one person's thought. Big Swifty here, it says, it's silly to miss school for something that you can do at night. Movies are a night thing to me anyway. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think is just that they must have something where night's not an option.
I thought that's what they said. That's why they're going in the daytime, because everything...
They had said on the weekend, but they didn't cover night. So maybe that's probably what it is. She's probably in some kind of sport or something like that where every single night, their whole life is committed to it. Know what that's all about. This text says, I'm not a Swiftie by any means, but when it comes to sharing moments with your children, that should be a top priority because your children are only small for so long. Life is too short. Take advantage of it. And another person said that their mom let them skip school back in the day for the Michael Jackson Oprah Winfrey interview in 1993. That's kind of an interesting reason to skip. So how does the voting break down on KVJ TV? Is taking your kid out of school for the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie a good enough excuse? 52% said no, it is not.
We're split down the middle here.
Pretty much it's a 50-50, but a majority say that no, that is not a good enough reason.
Not for a movie. I like your example of the baseball game that your dad did, Jay Bird. A baseball game is different than a movie.
How is that?
It's all kind of subjective, isn't it?
I think a baseball game is way more impressive.
I think it's whatever's special to you and your parent. If you guys are going to have a moment. Again, let's not get it twisted. It's only if you are crushing it in school. And at that point, I feel like if you want to have a moment with your child, once every so often, no matter what you do, I think it's a good moment.
That movie's going to play like 80 times this week. You can't find one of those showings that's not during school hours. Nah, I'm sorry. It's stupid reason.
Not happening. You're not going for it, huh? She's all out.
The witch don't like it, so it's stupid.
I don't like it. You can't find one time that is not in school hours. Get out of here with that.
Okay, all right. She's not buying it, and the majority of people are not. Almost 300 votes, and the majority says, no, not a good enough excuse. Go to school today, kid.